Okay, everybody. So just when I thought Perplexity couldn't blow my mind anymore, it has done so once again at a new level this morning. First of all, if you're not using Perplexity and you're in sales, you have been under a rock. You are missing out. This is a must-have tool in your stack. It's 20 bucks a month for their pro license. You got to use it. I'll put a link in the comments or the link in the description for the video so you can get over to Perplexity and check out and see just exactly what I experienced today. So recently, Perplexity has rolled out to its pro and enterprise users a new feature called Labs. Labs basically allows you to create anything from a prompt. It could be a presentation, it could be like a deck, a PowerPoint presentation, maybe like an infographic, a map, some kind of study guide, whatever it may be. If you give it the right prompt, it's going to create something that is so just magnificent, professional, and business worthy that I just got to show you what it is. All right. So this morning on my Perplexity desktop app, okay, I went over and I pressed this little icon here. It's called the Labs icon. So there's a desktop version and then there is a web version. And quite frankly, I have been leaning towards the web version more because the features are just that much more impactful. And quite frankly, the UI is very different than the UI on the desktop version. Okay. In simple terms, there's just a lot more functionality in the browser. Okay. So what you'll notice here is that I clicked on this lab link, lab button, and then there were some suggestions on what I might want to create. So I went ahead and I clicked on the first one. Okay. And that first one generated this gorgeous document of how my company compares to our two biggest competitors with third party resources and information and technical charts, graphics, you name it. This literally highlights my company in the best possible light. It clearly shows us as a winner in the benchmark analysis for testing up against our two biggest competitors. And again, the resources used, all third party. Sure, they got some information from our website, but it's a very non-biased report on my company versus our two biggest competitors. This took 9 minutes to build. 9 minutes. Now, as a seller, I want to have the ability to say, listen, I created something here. My marketing team didn't do it. I did. And I used a tool called Perplexity. And it basically went out and it built this third party, non biased benchmark report on how we stack up against our competitors, two of which you're looking at, one of which you might be a customer of already and considering displacing and using our product instead. Here's a much more compelling piece of content versus someone on my team or at my company writing a, let's say, bias article that's very leaning towards my company. Now, I did mention to you the desktop version, but this is actually the desktop version here. So I made a mistake. I went in reverse. This is what the desktop version looks like, which is totally fine. But this literally, this query here generated on its own in the web version that I just showed you. So this is super, super cool. Actually, I take that back. I made a mistake. This is the desktop version. This is the web version here. So in the web version, this is the query that it generated for me, and then the actual report that was generated, that benchmark report that I showed you here. So this is incredible. If you're a seller selling to the enterprise and you want to provide non-biased, fact-based benchmarking analysis on your product versus somebody else's, i.e., in this case, your competitor, Perplexity can help you do that. Now, look, I know there's other AI tools out there, different language models, and different platforms you can use. But in my opinion, for establishing a POV, really understanding a business, its model, how it makes money, how your products and services can provide value, Perplexity is it. So it's $20 a month. No, I'm not an influencer or a Perplexity pusher. I don't get a commission. This channel is all about helping salespeople sell more. That's what the individual contributor is all about. I hope you find value in this. This is an awesome tool. I highly recommend checking it out. I'll put Perplexity in the comments. Heck, I might even include this benchmark report just so you can see the quality of what Perplexity produces. So it'll be in the description, actually, the description, not the comments. All right, so next time, I'm Ryan, the individual contributor. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. See ya.